Hey folks, walk with me. A few, maybe months ago at this point, I put out a video talking about how the USA likes to shout strong and loud that we're the land of the free. And in that video I said, we're not the land of the free above all. We are the land of capitalism above all. Meaning, there will be easy and readily available legislation to legislate away your freedoms. There won't be easily and readily available legislation to legislate away capitalism. And capitalism will be wielded as a weapon to sort of turn people away from ideas that might be very good for them and very good for society, very good for our current situation. But if you say that it's anti-capitalist or some other word that means that, then it can often just shut it down, because the value here is valuing capitalism above anything else. And I think what you're seeing right now with the whole H1B, Elon, MAGA, Vivek thing is a very similar situation. I'm not talking about what my personal stance on it is, but I will say that for folks who are concerned about a fair living wage for American workers or for workers in the US, and folks that are concerned for the survival of the middle class, or I guess in an even better situation, a revival of the middle class. My God, it's so windy. Apart from those things, screw ensuring great wages across the board. Screw putting effort into reviving, rejuvenating, and strengthening the middle class in the US. The goal is capitalism above all, and what they mean by capitalism in many senses, and I think this is pretty clear in this instance, or at least folks are kind of tuning into it, is profits for shareholders, even more so profits for owners, who are, many of which who are already the wealthiest people, some of the wealthiest people in the world. And so instead of taking that capital that then just becomes concentrated over and over again, right? It's like it's constantly getting run through a filter that's concentrating it, bubbling it up to the top to a select few. Instead of helping to make America great again by distributing some of that to hard workers, people who are doing their best to, contribute to family, to society, to just get by. This concept of America has to win. What does that mean? What do you think that means? Is it winning if people can't afford eggs and milk? Is it winning if people have a minimum wage that hasn't been touched in decades? Is it winning if, I can't remember what the stat is, but the top 4 wealthiest people in the country have more money than the bottom, or than 50% of the accumulated wealth of the entire country? What are you classifying as winning? I feel like they're just saying winning, and you're so attuned to want to win from early childhood that if somebody says we need to do this so that America keeps winning, it's like, okay, well, I think you need to define that. And I don't think that really happens. And if it is, I think it's often like a scare tactic about, China is coming or whatever. But I think the nearer and more prescient threat is that of the disillusionment of the worker in the US, the middle class in the US, and what used to be considered the American dream, which has been, I think, totally metamorphosized into the American dream being anyone can become wealthy. My understanding of it always was that you could make a dignified living in the US. And you could do so because the system was built in such a way that the most important chunk of society was the middle class. And for those who needed help that were lower class, that was provided. For some folks who were sort of drivers of the economy or what have you, yeah, maybe there would be some wealth gap there, of course. You can't have a middle class if you don't have something above and something below, right? But the skewing of that, the extreme skewing of it, is, I think, a lot of what is just so abhorrent at the moment. And honestly, I hope people don't let this go. And again, I'm not even saying that the fight, the battleground in which they're having this fight is the right one or is the logical one. I'm not even, maybe yes, maybe no. But I'm just saying there is a lot of truth to this issue of the way in which capitalism has been wielded, and the American dream has been morphed into something that I don't think it was ever meant to be, needed to be, and I don't think broadly benefits our society. All right, folks, well, if you walked or watched with me thus far, I really appreciate it. I hope your end of year is great, and as always, I will see you in the next video.